All right, Shalom Makim. First and foremost, before we start, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rechakwadash. Double honor to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations unto the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And the spirit was just supping, and was thinking about how when the Lord finally shuts this thing down, when these we get in the thick of the time of Jacob's trouble, tribulation, and it'll be so detrimental to the point where brothers ain't gonna be able to be out on the streets. When this devil cut down on our content, and because we know that according to the agenda, they want to crack down on
misinformation,
misinformation, basically our ability to have free speech and whatnot. We normally, when we go into this thing, we usually go into the famine of the word. And in this particular lesson, we would like to say that this is the Most High. Pretty much, he's gonna like Yahweh Shai said, he's gonna basically shake off the dust.
Yeah.
The Most High himself, he's going to shake off the dust. And when he shakes off the dust, 2/3 of you're going to be left in the dust.
Right.
And that dust is going to be a warning unto you that you should have listened. You should have hearkened when the men of the Lord was trying to, get this word out to you. When they were piping, when they were mourning, and you wasn't singing along with the tune, you wasn't dancing. Hey, watch what the Lord's gonna do.
Salaki, bro. I got a precept about something that's not on here.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel 9:4. Yep. Oops, Salaki. Bear with me. I'm trying to. All right, Salak. All right, we got it. Let's see if you let me slide down. Yeah, Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4 says, "And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof." And what is that? That's this word. Getting these breakdowns, getting edified, getting built up, getting that name, getting that thawah, that mark of exemption put on you.
Yep.
And you start getting these breakdowns. When he shake the dust off this place, ain't gonna be no more breakdowns and no more edifying. Your belief is gonna be fragile. Your faith is gonna be weak.
Yeah. And it ain't gonna be no more, brothers, doing these lessons and calling Jake out, calling Jake out on the wickedness that Jake is known for doing. When the Most High pretty much put silence to his prophets, because right now he got his watchmen that's sitting upon the walls that shall not hold their peace day nor night.
Right.
When the Lord finally silenced the prophets, which is really his mouth, the prophets is the Lord's mouth.
That's right.
When the Lord silenced that, when he gets quiet, that's when it's just gonna go haywire.
That's right.
And you ain't gonna hear these plethora of videos of brothers constantly having to get on you, constantly got to rebuke you, got to constantly warn you, admonish you,
break down what day the Sabbath is, the certain way to observe laws. All that stuff.
Jay ain't gonna be holding your hand in that day. Question, you got all these questions. Some of the questions they warn and they gender in strife.
Yep.
Foolish, unlearned questions, all that stuff.
Yep.
All that's gonna be taken out the way. And the Lord is just gonna start judging.
That's right. I want to make a quick point from Proverbs, the 1st chapter. Right now the hands of mercy have been extended from the Most High through his prophets, and you people aren't taking heed. And I think it says, then calamity should come upon you as a whirlwind and desolation. I'm roughly paraphrasing that. But then you're going to be in peril, man. And you got to stand on what your belief was. And if you ain't got that breakdown, if you don't have that proper understanding in that day, if it's not written in you because you've been rehearsing it, hey, man, you're going to come up short.
That's it.
Yep. So I'm gonna read this one, then we can jump to the one to one of those other ones, right? Verse 5 it says, "And go to the and to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women." So that's everybody else.
Yep.
That don't have that exemption, right? It says, "But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary." Then they began at the ancient men that were before the house.
Yeah, it is.
So where do you want me to? I was thinking to start with that Luke.
Yeah, get that in Luke.
Yep.
Start at verse 10.
Yep. Luke chapter 10, verse 10. It says, "But in whatsoever city ye enter, and they receive you not, go your ways out into the streets of the same, and say, Even the very dust of your city, which cleaveth on us, we do wipe off against you. Notwithstanding, be ye sure of this, that the kingdom of the Most High is come nigh unto you."
Yeah.
Yeah, we came to present your opportunity for salvation.
Yeah.
So you can get these breakdowns, get this, all that shit talking y'all do with Great Millstone, Salaki, bro. With all that shit talking you do about Great Millstone, y'all know to get the breakdown or to get a stance on the breakdown, you got to come and start with us. So you come there to start your meal at. And then you veer off from there or whatever. But to get a solid breakdown, you got to come through us. So all that game plan is going to be over. And you got to stand on your belief at that point.
That's it. And that's why I said when the Most High makes it hard for people to be able to reach us, because Esau is constantly just making it hard for us to even keep our content on the web, period. That's where the Lord's gonna kick. He's gonna shake off the dust.
That's right.
And leave these people in the dust.
That's right.
And that dust is gonna be a witness against you.
That dust is confusion.
Confusion.
Yep.
You're gonna be left in a confused state,
right.
Trying to figure it out.
Yep.
When the Lord gave you opportunity to
get it.
To get it.
Yep.
But you played games.
Like you said, questions that gender strife versus trying to get edified, man.
Exactly.
Verse 12.
Real quick, I want to read it in the.
Let me hit verse 12, then you can.
Go ahead.
Verse 12 says, "But I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable in that day for Sodom than for that city." We know Sodom and Gomorrah got, and the other surrounding cities got destroyed with fire and brimstone. We know that's the judgment coming at the end of this place by Babylon the Great as well.
And that's it. This is same scripture in the NLT. It says, we wipe even the dust of your town from our feet to show that we have abandoned you to your fate.
Ooh.
And know this, the kingdom of the Most High is near. All right. In other words, it's going to be known that prophets have been among you.
That's right. That
the Lord, who He set up, from old, all right, the men who, pursuant to Jeremiah 3, I will set up pastors according to my heart that shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
Yeah.
After the Most High, pretty much makes it known that He's dealing with His men, and that everything that the men have been trying to warn you about, when these things finally come to pass, when they start to happen, but we're taken out of the way, there's no access to brothers' lessons and videos and shows.
Yep.
That's when it's going to hit you. That's when it's going to hit you, man.
And it'll have been clear that we got the right breakdowns. It ain't going to be, the mark of the beast could be this or that, or it's going to be crystal clear.
Yeah.
And it's going to line up with what the real prophet said, man.
Right.
The Most High is dealing with somebody.
Yeah. I mean, just think about it. Like, a lot of times when these different groups, when they, whatever topic they get on, especially involving prophecy, because we deal with prophecy, every time they go off or try to come against our teaching, their arguments always have enough holes in it that leaves us opportunity to fill those holes.
Yep.
And to actually break things down.
That's right.
Even to levels that you never even, came across.
Yeah.
that like the plethora of lessons where brothers is just filling every layer of understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Just imagine when that's no longer. When you can no longer have the luxury to get all these notifications with all these breakdowns, with all these lessons, constantly just filling them in, giving you point by point, going into the Greek, going into the Hebrew, bringing out countless articles. Just imagine when that's all just cut out, and now you in the thick of Jacob's trouble. Now you on your own now.
Yeah, bro.
Every single store you go into, you ain't getting in there without that C-hip.
Yeah.
So now how you gonna live now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's spooky, bro. I mean, even for us.
Yeah.
You know, let alone, and we believe through faith that we got the breakdowns.
Right.
And it's still spooky for us.
Right.
So how much more for you guys that's out there playing games?
See?
Where you want to go next? I like that address, but what you want to do? So I'm not sure. I got them all lined up here though.
Get
Amos.
Yeah, you could get Amos.
Yeah, we got to bring it out. Yeah. Amos chapter 8 verse 11. It says, "The days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord." Hey, man. I always like to call it a public service announcement.
Yep.
You know, doing the public a service by giving them these breakdowns in this word, man. That don't last forever.
Right.
This is not open forever. And another something I was thinking, we didn't got to get it unless you feel it. It's the same doors of mercy we talk about with Moses. You know, how long we gonna prophesy about rain coming? You know,
I'm talking about Noah.
So like I always say that about Noah. I said Moses. I mean Noah. How long we gonna prophesy about rain coming until that ark gets shut down?
Right.
And the people that's locked on the outside, there's no opening that door because the Most High is the one that shut that door and locked it and sealed that door.
Yep.
All right, verse 12 it says, "And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst." Yeah, man.
Thirsting for that word, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna be trying to, they're gonna want clarity. They're gonna want, answers. They don't want to feel, left out, left in the dust.
That's right.
Well, that's where the Lord's gonna leave you, in the dust, man.
That's right.
Confused. When the Lord gave you, He gave you ample time and opportunity to get it. He did everything, and it was repetitive.
Yep.
All these lessons that we do is repetitive, man.
Yep.
So the Lord is making sure that happens so that you're going to be without excuse in that day.
That's right.
This ain't no, hey, understand what this is, man, and what we're a part of. This is dead serious, man. All right? So it's gonna be that time, man. And when this devil finally be like, all right, everybody, it's that time, just like they did with the VAXX.
Yep.
When it comes down for the C-hip, that's when reality is gonna sit in, and we ain't gonna have to talk about breakdowns. We ain't gonna have to go into, semantical games with nobody. You're gonna know what it is.
And it just when you brought up the VAXX, it reminded me when that first lockdown came, bro.
Yeah.
When that first lockdown came, he allowed everybody to sit down for at least a month.
Right.
At least a couple weeks, minimum. Right. Everybody got to sit down and just be on the internet.
Right.
And just get all what you can see and learn and edified by. It's just happening. So you're going to be completely without excuse.
Yep.
Man. All right. Where you want me to go now?
Get Psalms. Well, I don't know what you had up there, but
yeah, 74.
Yeah, get that in Psalm 74 and verse 9.
Yep. Psalm 74 verse 9, it says, "We see not our signs. There is no there is no more any prophet, neither is there among us any that knoweth how long."
Yeah.
Ooh, that can't measure the time.
Mm-hmm. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Hey, Salaki, but I remember how brother said at camp, like, for the minute of the Lord that's measuring the time, for those that are measuring the time, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Mm-hmm. But the rest of you people, man, that's gonna kind of heard it and didn't take it seriously, it's gonna look like this is about to be the way of life forever.
Right.
You don't know how long this is gonna go. We have a hope because we can see the chariots, we can see the different signs. We know that they implementing this, they shutting this down. We can kind of, okay, so this is about where we're at in prophecy. Mm-hmm. They don't gonna have nothing to measure a timeline off of.
Yeah.
And that's gonna suck, bro. It's gonna feel like an eternity.
Yeah, it's gonna be left in the dark.
It's gonna be like that 10th, that 9th plague in ancient Egypt. Mm-hmm. A media blackout. When they had 3 days of darkness, man, it's gonna be that dark. And that confusion and that much violence in that time going on as well. Let's not forget the violence that's going to be going on. Right. If you don't have faith in that day, and the Most High is not dealing with you to keep you safe and guide you and protect you, hey man, it's going to feel like an eternity in every corner. It's like Pac, you're going to see death around the corner everywhere you go. Yeah. You want me to keep reading, or you want me to...
No, that was the point. You just wanted
right?
that verse. Now, if you want to get... what was the other scripture? I know you had a few that you wanted to get. It was
Esdras 5, John, Luke 10. We did that one. John 9. I think that's one that I pulled too.
Yeah, you can get it.
You had another one?
No, that was what I had.
I'll read the John 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Straight to the point. John chapter 9, verse 4. "I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day." And part of the work is getting the understanding and breaking. And then when you learn that, then you go teach others that can bring forth fruit also.
That's right.
Right? It says, "While it is day, the night cometh when no man can work." Hey, meaning there's a cutoff date. That it's going to be a day that the Most High going to shake the dust off, and you're going to be left in the dust, man. And it's going to be more tolerable for Sodom than for that city. And for those of the city, because we know it's a people before it's a place, and you're just gonna be left. Dang, so what do I do?
2 parts.
So do we take this or do we eat this? Is this okay? Do we? Right. You're gonna have questions and no answers coming, man.
Yeah, and that's why like this work that we're doing, which is we entered into other men's labors, but we ultimately we're working the work that Yahweh Shai left behind.
That's right.
And we're not doing this just for ourselves. We're doing this for those who also, like Paul said to Timothy in his letter, commit thou unto faithful men who will be able to teach others also.
That's right.
So that's the reason why we're doing this. This is a service.
Yep.
Once everybody that's meant to receive it come in through this work, that's when the Lord's gonna cut it off.
That's right.
Everybody that's meant to get it and receive it, they all gonna receive it. They're gonna get it, and the rest, the Most High is gonna keep the spiritual blinders on them until what? Until the destruction happens.
Man,
that's a bad place, man, to be placed in.
Man,
I want to get a quick real quick.
You got it.
This is Sirach 24 and verse 3. I'll start at 2:32. It says, "I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send forth her light afar off. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, and leave it to all ages forever." And that's what, we stress doctrine as it deal with prophecy, because that's what the testimony of our Lord is, the spirit of prophecy.
That's right.
So that's the doctrine. That's the main doctrine you should be concerned with, is prophecy. That's why we go into the MOTB so much, because that's one of the major prophecies left to be fulfilled.
That's right.
And when it finally happens, then it shall be known that prophets have been among you to warn you.
That's right.
All right.
It shouldn't be a question.
It shouldn't be a question,
You
man.
know, by the time it's implemented, it shouldn't be a question if you should take it or what is this thing.
Right.
It shouldn't be like, well, is it sin? Is it, you know, it shouldn't be all that question. Like the way we got to answer the same old questions over and over,
Right.
and people rambling, and it should be a clear, definite answer when it's by the time it come around. And if you didn't get that breakdown,
Right.
you better just somehow not take it.
That's it. And
know?
one more verse.
Yep.
It says, "Behold, that I have not labored for myself only,
Yep.
but for all them that seek wisdom."
That's right.
And
Yep.
you know, hey,
We know those that's gonna seek wisdom is the elect.
the elect. So that's who we do this for.
Yep.
All right. So these other, you know, the scripture even say, the scorner seeketh wisdom and findeth if it not.
Mm-hmm.
So you got, you know, our adversaries, you know, the people that come on our comment boards and try to challenge, you know, our teachings and whatnot. They're gonna be left in the dust too.
Mm-hmm.
But they be trying to window shop and come over to our videos and try to get some of it for themselves. But then, you know, the demons that's on them makes them, you know, buck up against it.
Yep.
That's because you ain't worthy.
Yep.
So when all hell breaks loose, and you know, calamities just start to just, you know, overwhelm, a lot of you're gonna be spaced out, trying to really figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment of clarity is gonna come in, and this when Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, is gonna play out. Damn, we didn't take them serious.
Yep. We
counted their life madness.
We wearied ourselves in the way of we erred in the way of wisdom. Something I'm roughly you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went basically with the light of righteousness shine out upon us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and because you didn't listen.
Yep.
So
we erred from the way of truth, the light of righteousness.
Yep.
You know, it had not shined unto us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it shined unto you, but your eyes wouldn't open.
That's right.
You know, you want to remain in darkness.
Yep.
When it was given to you.
Yep.
Like it says in 2 Corinthians, if this gospel be hidden, it is hid to them that are lost.
Yep. Hey, because it's out there. You just not choosing it. Your discernment is low. I was gonna also say, quote the one from Romans 11:7. How's it go? They have not. Oh my God, Salaki. Let me just grab it because I can't think of it.
Okay.
Bear with me. It's a classic too. I'm tripping by not being able to quote it right. 11 verse 11. Yeah, that's 7 verse. Yeah, what then? This is Romans 11 verse 7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Yeah, because the elector through the Spirit is going to get on board and be right on point with the breakdowns and the understanding. They're going to tune in as they should.
Yep.
They ain't going to mess around. The rest of you is going to pussyfoot and miss your ride up out of here, man.
Yep.
Hate to say it that way, but that's pretty much what it is.
Yep.
All right, we can get let's get that maybe do it this way. We got that now. We got I think Second Esdras on the one we didn't get. Yep.
Yeah.
Second Esdras chapter 5. I'm gonna go ahead and read 8 anyway. Mm-hmm. It says, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places. I like to read this because it tells you about, it's basically explaining the chaos that's going to be going on, how it's going to be just chaos going on in the world, and you're going to want to have some understanding. Famine, we know what the situation, race riots, famine, people invading one another, all kind of shit going on, right?
Yeah.
It says, and minstrous women shall bring forth monsters, and salt water shall be found in the sweet. And even I've heard the breakdown on this where the sweet water is that proper breakdown, and that salt water is that Mr. Wingmaster, trying to break it down and got it wrong.
Yeah, like you got the examples of that now.
Yep.
You know, the understanding of the MOTB is pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty plain to understand, but they're making it complicated.
Mm-hmm.
They're mentally bending themselves into pretzels to try to, you know, bring out a breakdown that's something pretty simple to get.
Yeah.
Jake want to complicate things, man.
And once you realize it's a physical, technological device, it's pretty easy after that you got to put in your body. After that, I mean, come on now. You're digging deep. That makes a lot more sense than, well, it's sin if you do that. Man, I ain't got time for all that ifs and maybes and what ifs. It's a mark, bro. It's a device that they going to track you and do everything, control you by putting it in you.
Yeah, you're buying and selling. We're coming into a new economic system.
Yep.
That's plain to see. That's what John the Revelator saw in the vision.
Yep.
There was a new way of buying and selling.
Yep.
And it was being controlled by the beast.
Yep.
And everybody that came up under his allegiance, they were able to do so. Those who did not come up under that allegiance, they were blocked from it. Simple.
Many videos on the UPC code. When businesses switched over to the UPC code, they had complete ability to track all their merchandise.
Right.
Which is what this devil wants. But what's his merchandise? The people.
Yep.
So it's the same deal. It's just that simple. Let me go back and read it. So verse 9 again. And salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself. And that wit is that understanding, man. Mm-hmm. Okay, the spirit flowing, it ain't gonna be flowing amongst the people like that dang, let me tune in. It ain't gonna be all that no more. And those that's breaking this word down with that wit, it ain't gonna be out there for you to get.
Right.
It says, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber.
Wow.
Oh, that was the one I couldn't think of. Is it Ezekiel, the 4th chapter? Where it says, and the tongue shall cleave to the roof of his, or the third chapter, the end of the, like 26.
Cleave to the roof of your mouth.
You may run across us, but ain't nobody gonna want to break that down when the shit's hitting the fan.
Yep.
You know, back into this, verse 10, it says, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon earth. One land shall ask another, and say, is righteousness that maketh the man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say, no. I can't find this. I can't find them guys the truth nowhere. They ain't on the corners. There ain't no videos going up. I ain't seen him. He used to work at the job. I don't know where he at now. If we was just nothing.
Yep.
Just SOL,
left
man.
in the dark.
That's right.
You know, and you're just gonna see nothing but wickedness on top of wickedness on top of wickedness. When the men of the Lord is pretty much that balance, you know, of righteousness in the world, you know. So yeah, it's gonna be hey man, and but you know, brothers time in and time out, you know, constantly was admonishing and exhorting, you know, daily. So Jake, you know, you want to take advantage of this while you still have it now.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, after it's all said and done, you know, Jake don't want to hear it. You know, you got, you know, the stubborn, stiff-hearted Jake that don't want to listen. They want to, you know, go after the imagination of their own evil heart. You know, go after their own lust. Hey, but we know how this is going to end.
Yep.
It's not going to end well. All right?
I'm going to read this one just because I kind of quoted it, but it's a little better than that. Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 26, and I will make thy tongue cleave, this is the Most High doing this, and I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shall not be to them a reprover. You was talking about that earlier.
And this is after he ate the whole roll, digested it,
and went
out and broke it down and warned. Then it's going to come to a point in time where after you done breaking everything down and prophesying, then I'm gonna close you up.
Yep.
I'm gonna close up shop.
Let's see if it's up here at the top somewhere. It might be in the other chapter. Salaki, I just want to get that part where it said, I know it's in the 2nd chapter for sure. Verse 5. Ezekiel 2 and 5, it says, and they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there have been a prophet among them.
There it is.
So somebody broke it. You knew that this was what you should have been doing, and you didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now the dust has been shaken off, and hey, they gone.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's the same thing. For they are a rebellious house.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
There it is, man. So, hey, man, hey, and this is, like, this is why we have to fear the Most High, man.
Right.
Because, it's at the end of the day, it's according to his purpose who he's going to wake up and who he's going to keep sleep. But when he shakes off that dust by basically shutting off access to, this understanding, people they're gonna lose their. I'm talking about in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people gonna lose their shit because Jake talk a lot of shit now. They find this all entertaining instead of edifying. You're gonna wish that you got edified and not entertained.
That's right.
That's when reality's gonna set in for you. It's gonna get serious.
Yeah,
right?
cuss eventually, man. Cussing Esau out, cussing out Jake, that shit get old.
Yeah.
Like once you seen one and made an Edomite kiss your shoe and all that shit get old, man.
Right.
Hip hop rap video, that shit gets old.
It's old.
But when you come across that video and like one of the elders or apostles or somebody went deep into a topic and you like, ooh, and it opened your eyes into another level through the spirit, man, there's nothing better than that feeling.
Exactly.
And if y'all ain't getting that feeling now, while the doors are open, you're gonna be caught out there, bro.
That's it.
Ain't nothing more to say about that. But they just gonna have you're gonna know it after death by pain.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is, man. So Lord willing, this was edifying. We're gonna give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruach
the ones to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. We're gonna say Shalom.